Oh, and let's see if the levels are okay. Yeah, the levels seem to be okay. I'll just bring the rain levels a little bit down. So I'm learning. Okay, so welcome to this fourth part of BSing around in Touch Designer. What you see here, and the audio is actually coming from Spotify. It's not from Touch Designer or the video itself. But while I was visiting family in Florida, I got a chance to go out on a boat and we got caught in a rainstorm. And I took a few videos of the rain falling on the water. Um, in this frame, we have, or not in this frame, but in this layout, we have one video, video one, which is this one. And then I'll show you video two. And this is video two. So these are just some rain videos that I took. And I figured during this stream I'd give a nice kind of background of rain. That's also coming, from Spotify, so hopefully it doesn't um, what's it called, uh, stream because of some copyright issue. Because I don't know, can you copyright rain? That's a question for later, I guess. What really quick, I'm just gonna turn off my air filter because I think it's pretty loud. One sec. Mm. Okay. Um, yeah, so this is gonna be a little bit less than an hour because I have somewhere that I've got to be around 4:30 today, so I'm just gonna get into it. So I actually, believe it or not, recorded this entire stream that I'm about to do yesterday, but I forgot to hit stream on the OBS controls. So I was talking to no one for an hour, and then I realized after an hour of doing Touch Designer that I didn't capture it. So this is actually hour five for me, not hour four on the program. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of speed run through what I did yesterday, and if you need to slow it down, slow it down. But I just want to get to a point where I'm back to doing some newer stuff, at least for my learning. So let's get into it. So from previous videos, we learned that if you want to add operators, you're going to right click, go to add operator, and then you'll have this kind of menu. And we learned in the first video too that like goes to like, at least in my perspective, when it comes to operators. So purple's like going to purples. And this is kind of just my own observation. It could be totally wrong. But let's say you want to add a movie like I did. You're going to go to movie file in, and then you're going to go to your program files, and then you're going to select from your folder um, where that video is. And then Touch Designer will automatically just kind of put it in a loop, which right now it's about like a 10-second loop. Um, so yeah, so what we're going to try and do today, or what I'm going to show you, is what you can do with single video and then some stuff you could do with double video. So I'm going to disconnect this and I'm going to add what's called a cross operator. So cross, and I learned this during the hour I spent yesterday, and they have little descriptions on the bottom, which, you know, let's see if I can kind of see. Nope, never mind. I was gonna snip it to freeze it, but so cross. The crosstalk blends between two input images based on the value of the cross parameter, referred to as cross value. So this is one of the simplest ones. It takes two inputs. So we're going to take movie file 1, put it in the top, movie file 2, put it in the bottom. And then what we get in our resulting image is kind of, if you can see, it's kind of a blending of the two videos. And the values go from 0 to 1. So 0 is the top video, 1 is the bottom video. And if you do, um, let's see, 0.5, you get a even mixture of the two, which is pretty fun. And I'd say one of the things that I enjoy most about um, these type of things is that you can take these cross components and then this output you can continue to add operators. So one I really liked yesterday was called mirror. So mirror is able to take your input and then it kind of puts a mirror. Well, actually, yeah, it does just that. It makes a mirror. So you have your combined input and then you have your mirror input. And then what you can do is you could go to the sliders of the first operator and blend it out. So video 1, video 2, video 1, video 2. And then you could kind of mix it in any way you want. And what I noticed with this is it creates a pretty cool noise pattern just on its own. And rain is a beautiful example of nature, uh, in nature of like a, I guess like a white noise or a blue noise. I don't know how, like the color classification system, but it creates like a nice kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Just nice noise, I guess. Um, but what you can do is, we kind of played around with noise operators in the past, but you could even add a noise operator, stick it through here, and then stick it through here, and then play around with different things. The thing I did notice with with these noise operators is it kind of looks like, what you call it, that this noise is like 2D, you know? Um, so I guess it might be best to put these like noise operators at a different point in your flow. But I didn't really try this, so this is new, what I'm trying now. But yeah, there we go. So this is a example of what I was trying to do. Yeah, boom. So we've got some noise now coming from our mixed image, which if we cross, just go to 0, that's our video 1 noise pattern. Cross to 1, we get our video 2 noise pattern. So you can see that you get some cool stuff from just taking a regular video input that may have a natural noise to it and then adding more noise via uh, some sort of specified type. But I'm not going to go through all the types in this video just because I'm um, kind of don't have as much time. But what I recommend doing is, if you like something just at its face, go ahead and play with sliders and see what you're able to replicate with the sliders in a way that you feel kind of happy with. Like this would be a good kind of like buzz noise right here. But what I think is like, and what I kind of encourage you to do is, as you play around with this stuff, take the sliders as far as they'll go to just see what each does, maybe isolate them individually, and what you can do, let's say that you got to this point and you took a screenshot or something so you remember it, but you want to go back to the original, you right click your noise and then go to reset all parameters and boom, you'll go right back to where you started, which is really helpful. Just be careful if you did play around with the sliders to either snap a picture with your phone or take a screenshot before you do reset that. And then with mirror, there's a few different things you can do. You can flip it along the x-axis. You can flip it along the y-axis. It's kind of hard to see with this operator. So I'm going to go ahead and delete the noise. and then reconnect it here with the mirror. So we'll go to the mirror. So you could rotate the mirror, which is kind of fun. And as far as mirroring goes, yeah, there's some stuff you can do. But yeah, this is flipping the feed, not necessarily the mirror plane. This is flipping the feed as well, but there's not really a Y flip since the videos are kind of going in the same direction more or less. But you can take this, and this is kind of goes 0 to 1 here. So let's see if I go 0.8. Nope, never mind. Let's see, 10, 50? I kind of forget what that does. But yeah, again, you just play around with that. You'll probably inevitably end up with something kind of cool or different. But let's go ahead and delete this. And again, cross is what I would consider one of the simplest nodes to play with as far as mixing two video inputs because you only have one slider. And this slider again is video 1, video 2. So it's a really good place in my opinion to start playing with multiple video feeds. But again, I don't know crap about Touch Designer. I've just been doing it for I guess 4 going on 5 hours ish. So, and then this button right here allows you to, I think, manipulate I don't know. I'm actually not really sure what that does. But okay, we'll go ahead and delete that. And let's keep playing around with operators that take 2 inputs. One that I thought was really fun was this one called Circle, except I didn't quite figure it out. But what I had Circle doing was I took a cross operator, put it right here, disconnected it, plugged it in because it accepts 2 cross, and then put it through the circle, and put the circle through here. And this, what I found with Circle is it kind of just allows you to put different stuff in this space is what I believed it was doing. But here's an example. I'll just click on a few of these, but a lot of them like add transparencies or take one input over the other or add specific things to these properties. But let's see, negate. Yeah, this was one that was kind of cool. It like is adjusting channels within the circle. And I could see, depending on what type of project, if you're trying to isolate certain things to like a geometric zone, this might be helpful. But okay, let's keep it moving here. Okay, cross. We're going to go ahead and delete cross. We're going to look for another operator that takes 2 inputs. Flip. Oh yeah, flip is kind of fun. So flip accepts 1 input, and then you can either flip it on the X or flip it on the Y. And what I like doing is duplicating these flipping operators. So let me disconnect this, and then disconnect that, and then we'll go back to our cross operator because it's very simple. And we'll go boom, boom, boom. And then what's fun is you could go to these flip operators and then go boom. And I really like doing, let's see, what did I like doing last time? Yeah, I like doing like the motion going in opposite, because I thought that was fun and it created like a cool noise pattern. But these flipping operators are also very simple. Um, you have um, two options or two switches, so it's a little less complicated. And then they have this thing called flop, which let me show you it without the cross. So let me delete that, then delete that one, and then, okay, so flip, we'll turn these both off, and then we'll go flop, flop, no flop. So that just, I guess, rotates it. Um, okay, so let's move it on here. Operators that take two. These blur ones, I didn't really get any cool input out of them. I think they have to do more with things that have more dynamic color, but I'm sure it could be useful for combining things. Math was kind of cool. It performs like a math operation on the channels, the red, green, blue, and then alpha channels from your image. So if you had like a very colorful video, you could use different math functions, and I'll show you just really quick. I'm not going to play with it, but um, you take what's it called? So you disconnect that. Just gonna connect here. Yeah. Let's see. Negate, positive, root, square, inverse, off. So you just apply these like um, mathematical functions to the different channels, and I'll show you where you find the channels. So these are your channels. So red, turn red off, green off, blue off, alpha off. Actually, let's see. Channels input. No, it's not doing what I wanted it to do. You know what? Maybe I'm actually confusing math with function. Yeah, I think I'm confusing math with function, because this one accepts two inputs. And again, I apologize for going faster than I normally would. But yeah, so this is what I was talking about. So it takes inputs from 1, so your top video would be X, and then your second video would be Y. So in the ones that have X, it's just going to be your top video, and in the ones that have Y, it's going to combine both your inputs. So this, which is an example that I liked. Absolute value, arctan, hyperbolic. Yeah. Which it just kind of creates a funky kind of situation. Um, and again, it's playing around with these channels, so I'll turn all these channels off to show you. So this is alpha channel on, blue channel on, green channel on, red channel on, and then mixing the primary, or not primary colors, sorry, like red and green, kind of get like a greenish brown, and green and blue. So what your functions are doing is your functions are just playing with those channels coming in from each video input. So if you go back to the, just one video, there's not too much dynamic color in this. You do have some reflection in the water, but it's mostly kind of like a blue, brown, and white thing going on. So something like a math function, you're probably not going to get a crazy thing out of with this type of video. But if you have colorful videos, I'm sure it could be really cool to mess with. Okay. And again, after watching this, if you have any feedback or have any things that you're curious about, or maybe you made something cool and you don't want to break it, you want to watch someone else play with that stuff and see what it does before you try and apply it to your project. I totally get that. Just go ahead and I guess comment or reach out in whatever way you feel comfortable with, and I will kind of take it on to see what I can do. But okay, let's see what we can do for multiple inputs. Outside top places input outside. Oh yeah. So there's an inside and there's an outside, I believe. So inside takes two inputs. I played with this one yesterday and it I couldn't really get it to um, cooperate with me. Um, yeah. So this one kind of just yeah, I just didn't really figure it out. It just when I played with it seemed to just be a crop thing. Um, and then if you change that to change op type to outside, yeah, so that's- yeah, it just kind of I don't know. It does some sort of crop thing. I don't fully understand it yet. Um, but I think it has to do with where videos ultimately will sit in the frame if you have multiple inputs. Um, but yeah, of all the ones that I tested yesterday, I really enjoyed Mirror, um, Cross, and then there was one, I think it was called Difference, that can subtract or add based on each video. So let me go. Was 3D data, point transform. Point transform treats the RGB values of the input image as a point cloud. Oh, that might be cool. You know what? Let's take these as two separate images. Okay. Interesting. Okay, and then what is this doing? This is converting it into points, and then so these are our channels. So our reds, our greens, our blues, which I'm sure this could be used to create some sort of noise thing. Let's see what happens when I try and add a noise operator here. Nah, it's just the same. Never mind. Doesn't do anything. Maybe let's see if we can find an operator that accepts a point cloud. So, point transform. What is this one? Point transform. So we took a point transform. Now let's see. Point file in top loads 3D point data into tops. Okay, so maybe this. Into tops. Weird. kind of curious what happens if you... No, it doesn't do anything. Okay. We were looking for something that could accept points. Okay. Okay, so the rectangle is kind of like circle. Let's delete that. Delete that. Okay. Playing with operators. RGB key. Pulls a key from the image using blue channels. Converts image from RGB to HSV. Screen. Okay, screen grab. Screen script. Screen grab to the top image. That's kind of cool. Wow. That's probably going to get really trippy really fast. Okay. I like the name of this one. Sick Top. Cloud data, LiDAR sensor, slope. Generates pixels that represent the difference between its value and its neighboring pixel value. Not cool. The 3D texture map. This might be cool. So let's go back to our cross. So let's cut this one. Add operator. I'm going to do a cross. And then I'm going to do a mirror. Let's see. So cross the image, which again is just combining the image. And then we'll go to here. Now we have some sort of cross going. Then let's see what happens if we do a mirror operator. Feeling it. I'm going to do a flip operator here. Then we're going to go here. And see what happens. We flip. That's kind of weird. Okay, well that's kind of cool. Text 3D. What are the options we have? 3D texture, 2D texture array. This pulse. Cache size. Oh wow. Step size. Wonder if you could put that in a fraction. Nope. There's this pulse. Okay, just delete that. Oops. And again, if you mess with sliders, you can always go to the right click on the operator and then go to reset. Multi-repeat tiling, 2D transformations. Let's add a cross operator. Oops. And again, you know if it takes two inputs by looking at these little notches. So if it's two notches, then it accepts two. If it's one, it could either accept one or put out one. So this one will be accepting two. And then, let's see, disconnect, put that transform, put that here. So right now, nothing's happening to it. And just one quick thing, if you're noticing this kind of a hazard or warning button, it is saying that the resolution limited to 1280 by 1280 with non-commercial key. So this video I actually took in 4K with my phone because I thought having a higher quality would mean it would be better for Touch Designer, but I guess in the commercial version, or non-commercial, sorry, you can only work with 1280 by 1280, which I believe is high def. I don't know. But anyway, so this transform operator, we're going to, oops, not do that. We are going to translate, rotate, scale, rotate, translate. Okay. Translate, let's see, 10. Let's see, 0.6, 0.4, 1, 0. Okay. Pre-multiply, comp over background color, orange. Why not? Rotate. Whoa. I don't know. I'm not really getting anything. That one. Time machine. Okay. So these two go together, this time machine and texture. So let's do texture and time machine. So let's delete cross. Take that. I'll do texture 3D. Copy, paste. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to feed the two videos. Oh, okay, we saw this before. Then I'm going to go cross. I guess it doesn't like that. Time machine. Let's see what this does. It's weird. Time machine. Yeah, I don't really know what's going on here. Okay, let's see. And I'm almost getting close to time. It's about 4:20-ish where I'm at. Siphon, spout, spectrum. Let's see, I'll just keep it to top operators. I still don't know what comp, top, chop, sop, mat, dat, and custom mean. But I know purple. So I've just been kind of sticking to purple for now. But again, if you're interested in combining video, look for the ones that take 2 inputs. So this one is add. And add. Oops. Set all parameters. It's an arrow. Input 1, input 2. Translate. Okay. Add operator, lens distortion. Okay. Here. Okay, so this one might be fun. Oops. Let's go ahead and set that at 0. And then let's go into a cross operator. Okay. So we'll take a lens distortion, we'll put it into our top input. I'll duplicate that. This is probably the wrong workflow, but there's probably faster ways to connect and disconnect stuff. But here we have our crossed image, and then let's play with some lens distortion. That's kind of cool. Kind of reminds me a little bit of like Mirror in a way. Play with that. Oops. You have like a bubble effect going on. Optical center 10. Zero. Negative 0.5. 100. I don't want the screen. 0.9. 0. Focal lengths 2. 10. 7.5. Just click something by accident. Okay. Then let's just add a mirror for fun. Oh, okay. Trippy, trippy, trippy. And maybe let's add some noise. Disconnect. Oh, you know what? Let's do one single lens distort. And then add, oh, oops, delete. Okay, we're gonna add a noise. We're going to accept noise, put it in lens distort, and then delete that. Okay, that's pretty glitchy, you know. Uh, I'd say that'd be kind of a cool start for something. I mean, this is really kind of spazzy, but you know, you can definitely you know, maybe play around with let's see, there's definitely some 2D, simplex 2D, and then play around with the lens distortion. It's kind of fun. It'd be pretty glitchy in my opinion. I'm actually gonna, you know what? No, I'll record that after. Okay, well, it's about time for me, so I'll just recap really quick, and I'll pause this really quick. So I'll recap kind of what we ended up doing. So yesterday I did record a whole hour of me talking to no one. So I was kind of re-going over what I did yesterday. So that's why I was kind of moving faster, because I was kind of trying to make sure I repeated some stuff just so you were aware. But yeah, so basically today we were messing with two video inputs to see what we could do. And if you want to play around with two video inputs, just look for things on this um, OP dialog or the op dialog that have things like takes one input or takes one input and applies this to input two, or takes two inputs. Just look for that in the description at the bottom and then play around with those and see what you get. And then you could either take two inputs and then send a combination out to this one output, or this is a, yeah, out one. Um, and you could always create more outs by, yep, right here. So you just create out if you want somewhere to see your end product. But yeah, just play around with it, and you know, adjusting the sliders is a good way to kind of see. I definitely recommend having like a big output. That way you can see what is going on. Um, but yeah, I think there's just a lot of potential for fun stuff. I think as for noise patterns, rain is perfect, you know, because it's a natural kind of noise. But then you apply that to some other projects, and it could lend itself to a really cool effect. And also something that's really cool is like if you're trying to simulate rain or trying to simulate water, why not get the noise from, you know, your own front yard, you know, aka videoing something in your own front yard and then putting it, you know, through Touch Designer. And, you know, front yard, apartment, wherever you are, it rains. I'm sure you will witness rain at some point, you know, even in the desert, I guess. Maybe you're watching this video in like the Gobi Desert or something. I'm not sure. But anyway, have fun playing with Touch Designer. I hope you learned something. I know I did. If you like the video, um, you know all this stuff. I'm not going to repeat the YouTube jargon, but I definitely appreciate feedback. If you you know, have ideas for videos, want me to play around with something, want me to attempt to break something by, you know, just being like a bull in a china shop or something, just let me know and I'll try it. But thank you if you watch this video. I apologize for it being a little shorter than the others. So this is like an hour-ish. I think I'm going to change the video description. Um, But yeah, whatever you make, it's gonna be good. I'm sure of it. And if you think you made something cool and feel like sharing it, I definitely want to see it, and give you a thumbs up. Um, but yeah, have fun. Whatever you create's gonna be good. Have a good rest of your day, rest of your week, month, year. And yeah, I look forward to catching you on the next one. See ya.